What do you do when you've got an addiction to buying, racing, repairing and modifying cars? You make a YouTube channel, of course. And that's exactly what you'll see on this channel. Cars, bikes, track days, cleaning, modifying. So follow me on my journey. I'm Faz Maxon and welcome to my channel. And here we go, finally, after weeks of trying to get this video recorded, we're finally going to do it. C220 2014, watch rear pads. The front passenger spring has snapped, so we're going to change both, as well as the lower front arm, which is knocking. We're going to do that on both sides, and then we're going to do an oil change. So let's get to work. Got the car jacked up on both sides, jacked on the other side so you can't see it. Let's get the wheels off and see what we need to do. So we've got the wheel out of the way. We can see what we're working with. There's a collar that holds the brake line and the brake pad wear sensor, which I push out. It's held in with a little pin. I use the pliers to help me pull the pin out. The strut's held to the hub with 3 bolts, so I undo the top one. I use an impact gun on the other side. I then pull this bolt out and I start removing one of the bolts that holds the strut to the hub. I then come over to the drop link, quick spray of WD-40. I then put a spanner over the top and my impact gun on top of that. I tighten it, then I loosen it. The reason I tighten it is to clean up the threads, and then I loosen it all the way out. It's the best way to remove them, I've found. I start then removing the last E-bolt that holds the strut to the hub. Remember, there's 3, this is the 3rd one. And then lastly, we just have to pull this plastic collar away, and then we can go up to the top. There's 3 bolts that hold the strut to the chassis. And just like that, the strut comes out. We got one out, one more to go. On the other side, it's the same again. So we take off the wheel, we move that to the side, then we start off by taking that plastic collar off. There's the 3 E-bolts that we need to take off as well. Over to the top, there's 3 of them E-bolts once again that we have to take out. One requires an extension. I use a screwdriver to push in the clips of this plastic cover so I can get the strut out. Once I got the struts off, I popped the plastic cap off the top. I then needed to compress the springs in order to take them out, but in order to do that, I have to take the top mount off. So I'm using my spring compressors here, just on a ratchet, to create enough space between the top of the spring and the top mount. Now that I've got enough play between the top of the spring and the top mount, I use an impact gun, gun it off, and take out the bearing assembly. I swap over the bearing assembly, it just pushes out with a screwdriver, pop it back in, and then you see me try putting the spring back on. I tried this for hours with my compressor and it just didn't work. Those compressors are no good. Not only are they quite dangerous when you're having to compress the spring so far, they also just didn't work. That took me hours. Tried using my spring compressors. I ended up having to buy one of these. Just couldn't get them to work. These, for these springs, are absolutely no good. So yeah, had to buy one of these. Been wanting one for a while, to be honest. And I finally got one. Front lower arms then. I undid the ball joint. Used a pickle fork to break the taper. I had to undo a few bolts from the under tray to access the rear mount. 17mm socket undid the rear mount for the front control arm, pushed the bolt through and pull it out from the other side. Easy as that. Time to fit the shiny new arm, slide it into place, wiggle it home. In goes the bolt and the nut on the other side, which I put on hand tight. You'll see why later. Now it's time for the ball joint. I lift the whole hub assembly up onto my knee to give it some support. I pop the ball joint into its taper. On goes the new nut. And then, because I'm a bad boy, I use a chrome socket on an extension with an impact gun to tighten it all down. Well, I can't be that naughty. I tightened it up with a ratchet to make sure it doesn't fall off.
What I've done is, because I'm about to torque that rear mount, and I can't be bothered doing it when the car's on the floor because it's going to be a mission, I've just put a jack stand underneath the wheel or the hub. Because there's no suspension, it's pretty easy to make it the same sort of height that it would be when it's on the road, so there's no twisting of the bushes or anything like that.
Once I got the arm level, I tightened it up with a spanner, obviously to spec. And then I moved over to the other side to do the whole thing again. This is a passenger side arm that sounded like it was playing Knock-A-Door Run with the floor of the car. Good thing we changed it. All these parts came from Autodoc, but we're not sponsored by them, so that's all you're getting. I didn't video putting the new shock in, given the fact that it was putting me in some very compromising situations, which I didn't really want to put on camera. So there it is, it's fitted. Now we're just fitting the plastic collar. In goes the top bolt that holds the shock to the hub. There's one of the bolts going in now at the back of the hub that fixes to the strut. And then we torque it to spec. Yeah, alright. And then we do the same for the other side of the hub. On goes the drop link. Slide straight in, really. I use the same process to tighten it that I did to take it off, a spanner and an impact gun. Here I'm just tightening up the middle bolt. And that's one side done. New springs and a front lower arm. On goes the wheel. Gun in all the bolts. And the same process for the other side. I jack the car up higher so I can get underneath to drain the oil out. We come to the top where I undo the oil cap and the engine cover. And here's me rolling around on the floor like a slug. Not really. I was taking the under tray off. There's a few bolts at the back. I have to take the whole under tray off to get to the oil drain plug. Then get under the car again, start undoing the oil drain plug, and then the oil comes out. I've kept the engine warm so the oil trickles out quicker. And here's a little time lapse of the oil coming out. Over to the bench now. The sump plug gets a clean washer and a new genuine filter. Next, we need to take the filter out, so we use a filter housing cap thing with a ratchet stuck in it, and we just wind out the filter. This one was pretty tight, but it came out no problem. I then stick the filter in a box to stop oil going everywhere, and then start to replace the O-rings. On goes the new filter, which slides straight on. I then put it back into the oil filter housing and screw it back in. Not too tight. The car then goes back down so I can put oil in. It's got to be level for me to put the oil in. Top it up with, again, genuine Mercedes oil. Check the dipstick, that's mint. Put the cap on. Job's a good one. Final job, the rear brakes, the car goes up. Step one is to take the spring off. Now I used a small pry bar to get this off. It sent the spring flying, but I got it. There was also some random thread tied around the hub, so I'll cut that off and move that out of the way. I then start undoing the upper slider pin. I'm not taking both of them out because this caliper can pivot and slide out of the bottom slider if I need it to, but this was just a size 8 Allen head. A little push with the pry bar and it came straight out. Then to pivot the caliper, I just shove the pry bar in and the caliper falls. Take the pad out, compress the piston with some grips all the way back. Remove the pad wear sensor. I chopped this one off just to make it easier. Remember to lube your pads, boys and girls, just where they meet the caliper. I stuck some on the edges here, and then we shove it back in the caliper. The back pad will have this metal clip on it that goes inside the piston. Push it home and we're done. The other pad goes in the carrier. You can see from the edges that that's been lubed. I then slide the caliper over the pad. I then attach the brake pad wear sensor, which just slides in. Again, lube is important. I lube up the slider pins, slide it in, make sure it's catching a thread, and then tighten it up with the same size 8 Allen key. Now all we've got to do is fit the spring, so I found it easier to use my left hand to push it in and hold it down whilst my right hand gets it over the carrier and then shoves in like that. There we go, and we're done on that side. One more side to go. Wheel back on, bolts back on. You've seen this a million times, I'm not going to talk you through this. Now this side pad gave me a bit of an issue. The clip that holds the rear pad into the piston had got stuck onto the lip of the piston. So You see me trying to push the piston back in order to get a bit more purchase, but that wasn't working. So I tried to stab a screwdriver in there, which also didn't work. In the end, I spun the caliper around and jammed a screwdriver in from the top, which pushed the spring clip down, and eventually I ended up getting the pad out.
See it bent down there. That's what was stopping it from coming out.
And finally, the last wheel goes back on. This was a mission, I'm not gonna lie, but it's done, and I'm glad that it is, and the car can see a few more thousand miles without any problems, hopefully.
Right guys, that's the C-Class done. I've just took it for a blast. Yeah, drives mint, to be honest. No knocks, no bangs, squeaks, anything like that. The springs were a nightmare, but they're done now. But they're just too long in regards to the shocks, and you have to compress them so much to actually get the top mount on. But yeah, it's done. Car drives mint. For the next video, well, you'll have to stay tuned, but it's a big one, I can promise you that. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Bye bye.